Sailors. Zach Godley takes the mound for the Diamondbacks tonight on a beautiful night for baseball with the roof rightfully open. Game 3 in this 4-game series between the Dodgers and the Diamondbacks. Different looking lineup for the Dodgers tonight with Chris Taylor getting the night off. Jock Peterson to hit leadoff. Then it'll be Alex Verdugo. Yasmani Grandal, the catcher, hits third. Cody Bellinger homered last night. He's in the cleanup spot with Kemp in right. Chase Utley at second. Kike Hernandez gets the start at short with Taylor getting the night. And Max Muncy starting at the hot corner and hitting 8th. Well, Zach Godley, first couple of starts this season, gave up 1 run over 14 innings, was one of the best pitchers in baseball over those 2 starts. But his last 3 times out, Oral, he's given up 12 runs in 14 innings.
He has not controlled the count, getting ahead of hitters, leadoff hitters on an inning. This year, hitting 400 off them. When he's had success, he's been very tough after that leadoff hitter with runners in scoring position or even with men on base. What the Dodgers need to do is set that table, make sure that he's throwing strikes. Don't chase that curveball. The curveball and the cutter are what he likes to run off the plate to you and get you to chase. They're going to have to show some discipline on those 2 pitches.
Dodgers have seen him twice. He had one really good one against LA, and that was on April 3rd. Held him to a run over 7 innings and a win. And then one really bad one. Looking at it another way, the Dodgers consider the win against Godley on April 15th their best collective approach from their lineup all season. They scored 6 runs against Godley over 4 innings. That included 6 walks against him. So Peterson to lead off for the 2nd time this year. Godley, the 28-year-old from South Carolina, has a sign from John Ryan Murphy. Comes home with the first pitch, and off we go with ball 1. Dodgers trying to end a 4-game skid. They've lost 7 of 8. And for the first time since June of 2013, sit 5 games below 500. That's when they took off in 2013 and had the 43-8 stretch en route to win in the division. One ball and 2 strikes.
Godley's going to throw the fastball, the cutter, the curveball, and the changeup. Changeup predominantly to left-handed hitters. That's what you saw just there to Jock.
Throws an off-speed pitch again, taken for a ball. 2-2.
Dave Roberts stacking the lineup here at the top with 2 guys that you weren't used to seeing up there or even expecting this year to be up there, but they're both very patient against Godley, looking for some guys with on-base percentage. Some good choices.
Protects the outside corner. Yeah, we were talking about it during the pregame show, but looking at the Dodger lineup, Cody Bellinger's the only guy who, if you had checked it in March, you would have guaranteed would be in that spot in the order at that position.
Yeah, it's a lineup that you could not project. You'd win a lot of money in Vegas if you'd guessed this lineup for today.
Big bouncer. They have him shifted to the right side, and they'll throw him out. It's Marrero, third baseman. You wouldn't have to put much down to win a lot.
No, it'd be like a lottery ticket, national lottery.
Left fielder number 61, Alex Verdugo.
1 away in the first inning, and up comes Verdugo. Came up on Saturday. Initially, the plan was just to have him in town in San Francisco because of Matt Kemp's quad. And then Puig got hurt. They activated Verdugo, and with Puig on the DL, a little bit of a runway here for Alex to get some playing time. That's ball 1.
Not only playing time, but a significant place in the order. This is Corey Seager's slot.
I don't know. You've really liked how Verdugo's looked in the box in his first few games.
Very calm. You know, you noticed that in spring training when he got inserted into the lineup with the regular guys in spring training, looking like he could be part of the lineup at times. just to see how he reacts.
Yanks one to right. That's a base hit. Owings trying to cut it off. Verdugo's on his way to second. He's got a double. So the Dodgers put a man in scoring position here in the first.
Alex looks very calm, but when he decides to swing, it's an explosion. He goes from quiet to aggressive very quickly, and he has an outstanding eye and a great idea as a young man to really understand how to hit with his great eye-hand coordination.
Back-to-back nights with a double for Verdugo. And here's Grandal with one out. First pitch curve for a strike. Now the Diamondbacks winning on Monday 8-5, riding the long ball in that game. They had 4 home runs and last night, getting the 2 runs in the 7th against Liberatore to win it 4-3. They've won 7 of the 8 meetings between the teams this year. 0-1, outside ball one.
Dodgers have gone from we're going to get hot to we need to get hot to we just need to win a game. And then we'll see what we can do after that. Gets a little mental. You just got to figure out winning is contagious, hitting is contagious. Pitching well out of the bullpen needs to get contagious.
He's got both strikes on the curve, 1 and 2. Well, facing a guy in Godley that is the only one that they've beaten on Arizona's staff over the last 14 matchups. 1 and 13 against Arizona back to late last year.
Clayton Kershaw got the win in that game.
And then pitched well enough to win last night.
Sure did.
The 1-2. That's high, ball 2.
A lot of people are starting to do dissections about Clayton and his early, what they perceive as a poor start to this year, which for his standards, it is a little below his standards. But, you know, the ERA is under 3. It's close to being in the top 15 in the league. Strikeouts are up. Innings pitched are up. Just hasn't gotten a lot of run support. The home run ball a little bit has hurt him. But that has been usually how some runs get scored off of him because of nobody strings hits together. So when all of a sudden he gives up a home run on something that somebody might have been looking for and he makes a little bit of a mistake, a lot of times it's a solo shot.
Yeah, and specifically against Arizona this year, Kershaw's given up 5 runs on 5 solo home runs. So to your point, if they're not a home run, they're not stringing anything together. Comes Godley with another 2-2, and it bounces by Murphy. Up to third goes Verdugo, and the count goes full on Grandal.
Godley having trouble commanding that one. Has had a few down there in the dirt. It'll look like a pulled changeup. He's feeling a little pressure out there. His last 3 starts have not been good at all. An ERA close to 7.
Infield comes in for Arizona with a full count on Yasmani Grandal in a scoreless first inning. Godley's payoff. That's high, ball 4. At the corners with one away, and Cody Bellinger comes to the plate. We take a look at our Lane Rover Performance Spotlight. Pretty good numbers against Arizona so far this year. The home run last night just hooked inside the foul pole. They gave the Dodgers a 2-1 lead.
That was a belly blast last night. He struck that one well.
Takes ball 1. The one that he hit last night, he said off of the bat he was sure that it was gone, and then it kept hooking. Maybe worse than any ball he's ever hit down the line, and it just barely stayed fair inside the pole. He's thinking, really? I need this one. That's by Goldschmidt and down the line. Verdugo's in to score on an RBI single from Cody Bellinger, and for the first time in this series, the Dodgers strike first. His mom Jennifer in attendance. A lot of friends and family coming to watch him this week in his hometown.
This ball is ripped. A low curveball in the middle of the plate. He resets the table after driving the run in. Makes it first and third again, and will continue to work for the Dodgers as Matt Kemp comes up. Another good RBI guy for the Dodgers so far this year.
Dodgers 1, Diamondbacks nothing. Godley to Kemp. He goes after the first pitch, chops it to third, and they will turn a double play to finish the inning. The Dodgers get one on a base hit from Bellinger, and Hyun-Jin Ryu has a lead to work with. He's been one of the best in the National League over the last few weeks. He'll try to keep it rolling tonight in Phoenix. This is the lineup that Torey Lovullo puts together. David Peralta is back on top of it after having yesterday out of the starting lineup, having gotten hit on the hand in the opener. Ahmed, Goldschmidt, and Pollock, who just today was named the National League Player of the Month for April. Owings and Marte, at third Marrero, and Murphy doing the catching for Godley. It's Ryu's sixth start of the year. His first one came here, didn't go well, but since then, third in the National League with a 146.
He's been fantastic, and I told you at the beginning of the season, the lowest batting average against on one of his pitches wouldn't be his changeup or his curveball, but would be his fastball. You'd say that shoulder must be really healthy, and he's really locating it. They're only hitting 103 off of him on his fastball.
Brings an 0-1 to Peralta and misses in. 1-1. One of the best in the majors as far as the average against not just the fastball, but you incorporate the cutter into that equation. That 111 average, second best in the majors. 1 year after it got hit all over the place. 2-1 on Peralta.
He has shown a lot of confidence with all his pitches this year after that one rough start. And you really know they're feeling good is when the fastball cutter combination is the best for a guy who just throws around 90 to 92. Prior to his arm trouble, we saw him run it up around 94 in jams. He'd kind of go to the well. He's pitching now between 89, 90, and 91.
Falling behind Peralta to open the night. A 3-1. Fouled off of the glove, and the count's full. Peralta losing the bat and the follow through there. Got hit on the right hand 2 nights ago. For a guy who had wrist surgery a couple years back, it was a scary moment. I was thinking, man, I'm off to this great start. And it's pretty painful. Hope nothing's broken. He's got a leadoff walk here. Thankfully for the Diamondbacks, X-rays showed no damage. And after ruling him day to day yesterday, back in there tonight with a leadoff walk.
This was a little bit scary. We saw this, immediately reminded me of Justin Turner and how we lost him. He uses a bat with that axe grip on the bottom. It's a lot smaller too, so there's a lot more finger exposed with that smaller knob.
Here's Ahmed. He started using that axe handle bat in response to the wrist injury. Low for ball 1. A few guys on this roster that use that. Jake Lamb, who's on the DL right now, but he's an axe handle guy. So is Chris Owings. You're struggling to find the zone over the first couple hitters.
He seems to have very good rhythm over the rubber, but as he starts to leave the rubber and get ready to accelerate, kind of jerking it a little bit at the end into foot strike.
Working against a hot hitter in Ahmed. Finds it there, 2-1.
Always looking for that rhythm early in the game. Sometimes moving to the stretch helps you because a few less moving parts.
Just misses there, 3-1. First start of the year came in this ballpark for Ryu. And it was a completely different guy than we've seen since. He gave up 3 runs on 5 hits and 5 walks and didn't escape the 4th. In a ballpark that has always been a tough one for him to succeed in. Ahmed lines it to left field. Verdugo's got it. A walk and a line out. 1 gone here in the first inning for Paul Goldschmidt.
It'll make you catch your breath right there. You give up a hard hit ball, but it's right at somebody. Make you feel like maybe your luck's changing in this park.
This guy here has been a big part of the problem in this yard. Look at those numbers against Ryu, and that is not in a limited sample. 455 with a couple home runs. Dodgers have done a good job with Goldschmidt, though. He's 1 for 8 in this series. And Arizona, after this 21-8 start, without their best hitter, really doing a whole lot. Kind of a trend the last few years. Dodgers have shut him down, at least compared to what he did in his first few years in the league against LA. But when you roll it all together, he's been the most productive hitter against the Dodgers since his debut.
We're not used to watching him swing and miss as much as he has been. He was really off to a cold start the first time the Dodgers saw him, and then started to heat up a little bit, but they've done a nice job on him again in this series. I think of the at-bat that JT Chagua had against him, where he came in and blazed a 95-mile-an-hour fastball low and away for a strike. Next one, 96 on the hands, and then a slider that Goldie looked just lost on when he struck out on 3 pitches. It looked like JT could throw up the rosin bag and he would have swung at it. He was so lost.
Takes this one, 2-2. Even when he's slumping, though, he still gets on base. One of the top on base percentages in the game the last couple of years. Five-time All-Star in his 8th big league season. Swings and misses for strike 3. Ryu's first punch out, 2 gone.
You get to strike 2 with Mr. Ryu this year, and the league is hitting 0-19 off of him with 2 strikes. So he has been outstanding in finishing off hitters once he gets them to 2 strikes.
0-19, is that what the average boils down to?
Yes, I don't know.
Something
Unbelievable.
Seems like a typo, but it's not. Hitters are 1 for 55 when Ryu gets 2 strikes on him.
I didn't want to talk about the statistic with Goldie up there. I was like, I'm not going to jinx this one.
You're not capable of jinxing.
I know.
But if there's any hitter that makes you feel like you are, it's that guy, right?
I'm like, I'm not going to lay this out there. I'll wait till after we see what happens.
1 ball, no strikes on the National League Player of the Month, A.J. Pollock. He's homered 4 times over the first 2 games of this series. And is ahead of Ryu, 2 balls, no strikes.
I appreciate you negating my superpowers that I'm not capable of jinxing anything.
Yeah,
I like that.
I don't want you to give yourself too much credit.
There's a lot of people, though, out there that think that we can. It's crazy.
A 2-0. Breaking pitches in for a strike, 2-1. What was the mood about jinxes when you were a player? Were
you have to respect the guys that believe in it because they're on your team, and you gotta, have that boundary. But if you're with somebody else that doesn't believe it like you do, you can snicker about it, but not too loud. You surely don't go up and air guys out like, are you serious? Do you really believe in that right in the middle of the game when the guy's like not stepping on the line or going through his regimen of superstitions? The one that is completely always obeyed, though, is not talking to the starting pitcher if he's working on a no-hitter or a perfect game.
right?
Unless that guy's Josh Beckett and there's a police officer in the corner that he just has a conversation with the whole game.
A 3-1. Gets strike 2 on Pollock. Full count.
It was funny because the police officer that sat with Josh during his no-hitter, and he felt like he almost became Josh's best friend. It's 3 hours. It's a big, huge moment of Josh's life if he finishes it off. And this guy's been talking to him in between the whole. When it was over, the guy thought maybe I'll get the uniform or the ball or something.
Pollock stays blistering hot with a base hit to left. Peralta goes first to third. And he'd be the only guy talking to him as the day went on. His only friend.
Well, Josh was at a point in his career at that time that he was like, I don't have the stuff to throw a no-hitter. He wasn't even believing in himself that it was happening. And then it got to the 6th, 7th inning, and he just, I might as well keep talking to this guy. It's working. It wasn't the fact that he was throwing near the mid-90s and have a great curveball and an outstanding changeup. No, it's got to be that I'm talking to the nice police officer in the corner.
If it ain't broke. Chris Owings. First pitch breaking ball for a strike. And on the topic of jinxes, I'm not supposed to tell you that he's 6 for his last 48. But I will, Oral, because I'm paid to tell you the facts.
Exactly.
Pop foul, 0-2.
Old police show called Dragnet. Just the facts, ma'am. We're just very straight-faced. No, ma'am, just the facts.
Leadoff walk for Peralta. He's at third after the base hit by Pollock. Are you trying to hold on to this 1-0 first inning lead? Is 0-2 to Chris Owings. Got him swinging with a high fastball. And after 1 in Phoenix, the Dodgers in front of the Diamondbacks, 1-0. He's back out there for the second. 28-year-old whose favorite off-field activity is fishing. He's got a spot on a lake with a boat during the off seasons. He's actually sunk a boat on 2 separate occasions, though. One time it happened to be his dad's boat.
It's pretty bad to even get in a fender bender in a car with your dad's car. I don't know what's sinking his boat.
Man. Chase Utley to lead off the second. Here's the kicker. It wasn't even on a fishing trip. This was a hunting trip where he just decided to take the boat out. They happened to be at a cabin, and he sunk it. Dad, remember your boat? It's gone. Hope he's a better fisherman than he is driver of the boat. No balls, 2 strikes on Chase Utley.
If we happen to be around him during BP or stretching of the Diamondbacks in the future, we got to ask him about how those boats sank.
Yeah, I don't have the details for you on the other one, but yeah, twice.
Wow.
If he drives the boats anything like he kind of approaches pitching, his demeanor and everything, maybe he's a little out of control with the boats.
Aggressive.
Right.
Football mentality with the boats.
He's an old linebacker, old fullback, but he had a lot of paint on his face mask.
Tell you, when we saw him in those first few games of the year for him, he looked like he was never going to stop. I'm like, this guy's going to win the Cy Young. He just attack, hit spots, great movement, change of speeds, a curveball that you can't even pick up is dropping off the table. Trying to find that form again, because that was special.
Hitters have described his curve as out of the hand, looking like a cutter. You can imagine how hard that is to adjust if you think it's a cutter and it winds up being a curve. 2 entirely different things. This one's low. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Utley.
Some really tight spin. Really spin a baseball. It'd be interesting on the spin rate stuff.
Speaking of, did you read any of this stuff about Trevor Bauer this week and doctoring to the baseball's spin rate discussion?
If Trevor Bauer's involved, it's usually going to be interesting.
So yes, you did pick up a little of that.
A little bit. When you read compared to when I read, I think I'm the browser.
Full count after he'd fallen behind 0-2.
What did you pick up from the article?
So basically, somebody released the information that the Houston staff is historically good in a lot of ways, the starting staff, and they are. They're on pace to set a major league record for strikeouts in a season. Several other categories are on pace to set records on. Utley turns on it, sends a high fly ball to right field that Chris Owings will catch for the first out of the second. Somebody noted that 3 of the guys in that rotation, Charlie Morton, Justin Verlander, and Garrett Cole, have all seen a significant increase in the word you mentioned, spin rate, since joining the Astros. Well, Trevor Bauer sends out a few tweets after that. Trevor Bauer, pitcher for the Indians, if you're unfamiliar, who's very into analytics and StatCast, sends out a few tweets that basically insinuate that the jump in spin rate probably came from using foreign substances on the ball. It's ball 1 on Kike Hernandez. And he goes on to say that he's done plenty of research, lab testing himself, and knows for a fact that he could add 400 RPM to his spin rate using pine tar. It's a breaking pitch for a strike, 1-1. What does that equate to? About a 70-point drop in batting average.
And this is why I browsed the article, because I never thought pine tar was a foreign substance. I only used the stuff that was made in America.
Which is
Not a foreign substitute.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Hernandez. Bauer said that he thinks that pine tar is more of a competitive advantage in baseball than steroids.
Wow, that's quite a statement. That's the other reason I was browsing the article.
Lays off here, 2-2. And his whole thing is basically he thinks Major League Baseball should either A, make it legal to doctor the ball, use foreign substances, or B, enforce the rule that you can't. 2-2. Breaking pitch is low and away, and he's worked it full.
I'd like to be part of the committee on fair play because I think the batter has an awful lot of things that he can do to the bat to make it grip better. And if you just use your bare hand, no pine tar, just onto the bare wood, no shellac even, just wood. So we're holding the ball and you're holding the wood. I bet you their bat speed actually increases because all the different grip things they do, their strength increases, their confidence that the bat's going to stay in their hand increases. So I don't know. But what's written in the baseball rules is they allow the hitter to do all that, but they don't, in some ways, to the letter of the law, don't allow the pitchers.
2 up, 2 down in the second. Godley gets his first strikeout of the night. Here's Max Muncy. Outside, ball 1.
But hitters in general will tell you that we don't mind if a pitcher uses something to get a good grip. We don't want somebody out there throwing 95 that the ball might slip out of their hand and ruin their career or hurt them.
1-1.
The hitters always say as long as it's spinning naturally according to what a fastball should do or a cutter should do or a slider or a curve, and it breaks the way we're culturally known for that to break, then they're fine. What they don't like is the scuffed ball that goes extra movement. They don't like the spitter that suddenly just drops.
On a 2-1 pitch, Max Muncy strokes one to left center field towards the gap. Peralta makes a running catch. Gave it a ride, but a nice play by Peralta to finish a 1-2-3 second. The second inning back here at Chase Field. Home field advantage is presented by Purple Bricks. All right, so we've been talking about the humidor that they've installed here for the first 14 games this year. That's the right-handed column. On the left-hand column is the numbers through the first 14 games last year. You're looking at runs per game, then slugging, then the average exit velocity, And in all three categories, it's the largest drop off of any park from last year to this year.
What they were looking for with the humidor seems to be effective.
Jin Ryu faces Ketel Marte and misses for the first pitch breaking ball. Now, it's been interesting, though, to watch how differently the ball has flown in this series because of the wind than it did when the Dodgers were here for their first road trip of the year. Ryu to Marte with a 1-0. That's a strike.
And interesting how the wind, when it drops into the stadium through the roof, because the windows are not open, how it swirls and actually makes it seem like it's going opposite of what the flags do.
It's bounced to Bellinger gently for the first out. Cody was talking about how windy it had gotten last night. They're all standing around, and then from their perspective, it was a dust storm that came through, like we had chatted about it maybe being. So it's perfectly calm, and then just like that, there's dust flying around, there's wind gusting. And it has really affected how the ball is carried. Here's Devin Marrero. Strike one. Fouls that one off himself, and he's behind 0-2. Well, the Giants finished off a 7-3 homestand today by winning the finale against San Diego, so playing some of their best baseball of the season. But I don't know if you saw this, Johnny Cueto put on the disabled list last night with elbow tenderness, and word is he's going to see Dr. James Andrews. And speaking of injury issues, this is not a good sign. Dave Roberts coming out with the training staff.
Take a look at the last pitch and see if we can spot anything. Well, there's a little something there.
No
for
buckle.
Sure. Oh yeah. And then a little wince and pain and kind of a hobble. Ryu looks like he wants to stay in the game. Gonna let him throw a couple. Well, that wasn't good. It's one thing to not be able to pitch. It's another thing when you can't even stretch. You have to stretch it. He's holding his side, you know, and I'm not going to speculate and play doctor up here, but it looked like it's something coming from, radiating from his legs that might even be affecting his back.
All right.
Next. Unbelievable.
Dodgers baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by BMW. See a Southern California BMW Center today for exceptional offers or visit SoCalBMW.com. And by Jack in the Box. Try the new Cholula Buttery Jack, part of the Buttery Jack family, only at Jack in the Box. Pedro Baez on much earlier than anybody had foreseen. Hyun-Jin Ryu leaving the game with an injury here in the second.
The Dodgers, in some ways, to get Pedro back on track, we're thinking about maybe lengthening him out, take him out of the high leverage late inning situations, give him some time to kind of get out there, pitch, find his rhythm, and become a little bit of a Quasimodo long man. Well, they weren't expecting him to be in this game this soon, but they're going to need some length from a few guys out of the bullpen that has really struggled. They're going to be given an opportunity to have a lot of innings today to turn their season around.
And it's kind of fitting that the second guy he's going to face is Murphy. I kind of feel like Murphy's Law right now.
Yeah, this has really been, it's been hard, the losing, and then it's been even harder to be losing and to be losing players to injury. Projected to have a rotation of Buehler and possibly then Maeda and then Hill if he comes off the DL, and hopefully his finger was ready. They haven't made the Buehler announcement official, and they haven't made the move to get Rich Hill active, but that's what they think they're hoping for in Mexico. Tomorrow you'll have Alex Wood against Patrick Corbin. But if Mr. Ryu has to go on the DL, that's another hole to fill.
Ryu added to this current stable of guys. Dodgers have the most significant pieces on the disabled list of any team in baseball. When you're looking at projected WAR, projected wins above replacement on the DL, it's not even close. Dodgers leading the majors in that category. And that is even with the Diamondbacks having some pretty significant injuries of their own. So Ryu's out. And into the bullpen trying to find itself here in the second inning. This will be a good night for them to find themselves. That's a ball on Marrero. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Certainly going to get a lot of guys an opportunity to tonight.
It's the one time when you come out of the bullpen that you're not worried about first pitch strike when you're handed an 0-2 count.
That's interesting, right? 2-2.
Now it's time to throw one. Right back in there, Pedro. High fastball, and fastball away that just misses.
Got a fastball by him for out number 2.
The range and made an outstanding 2-2 fastball right outside corner, 95 miles an hour. That'll work.
Dodgers desperate for Pedro Baez to recapture some of what he did early on last year. It's easy to forget because of how much he struggled down the stretch, but you know, his first 29 games last year, he had 26 scoreless outings. John Ryan Murphy looks at a strike. So at the end of June, towards the back half of June, Pedro Baez had a sub-1 ERA. And you can argue that some of the peripherals said that he wasn't that good, but I think at this point they'd take some poor peripherals with a sub-1 ERA. Quickly 0-2.
Did the peripherals take into consideration that he was usually brought in to face the meat of the order? I mean, it was always like Pedro in the 6th. Here comes the meat. Here comes 2, 3, 4. Pedro in the 8th because here comes 2, 3, 4. And he didn't really have a specific inning as much as he had the toughest guys to get out.
That's the 0-2 fly. Murphy crushes this one up into the third deck, but way foul. No, not necessarily. I think that facing the middle of the order probably contributed to some of the peripherals not being great.
So the peripherals would be, well, he's got a sub-1 ERA. He's pitching real well with culturally given statistics, but with the new statistics more like exit velocity maybe a little up for somebody who's pitching that well.
Fielding independent pitching way up, which sometimes can be an indicator of what's to come.
Such a quiet and sensitive guy. It's really hard to know when he's really riding high or if he's really low.
He gets Murphy swinging and K's both men that he faces on in relief of Hyun-Jin Ryu. Bullpen's going to need to be big tonight to the third 1-0. Up Pedro, and so he will bat to lead off this third inning. Welcome inside Joe Davis or Hershiser, and it's gone from bad to worse tonight. I mean, you're looking for something to feel good about. Hyun-Jin Ryu gets off to another good start in this game, but then leaves with an injury.
Yeah, the bad news has been Ryu's health. The good news is the Dodgers broke on top, which is a really good sign. But you know what? It's got a cloud over us, and I hope we win tonight. I hope they do well. I hope they actually feel like, you know what else can go wrong, and it kind of relieves some pressure, takes the air out of the room so that they can just go out and start winning some games.
And Baez, of course, the old third baseman. 0 for 2 in his major league career as a hitter. Does have a walk. It came with the bases loaded. It does have an RBI.
And a brand new helmet.
Straight out of the box. Facing Zach Godley. Fires 0-2. That strikes him out. Murphy will throw to first to finish it off, 1 away.
Everything that Pedro has been part of in this game has been a strikeout. First 2 hitters he faced in himself.
Second time through the order now. Peterson takes ball 1 low. You know, we're on pace this year to have 10,000 more strikeouts than there were 10 seasons ago.
That's significant.
Yeah.
That's wow.
2-0. Which is 10,000 fewer balls in play. And I know that's obvious, right? But I think that's where the concern is with the high strikeout totals, is it's less action. Every time a ball is put in play, it's an opportunity for a highlight reel catch or an extra base hit. 3-1 on Peterson.
Am I right? There's 2,430 big league games. 162 times 15.
Yes.
Yeah, I think you got 30 teams. Everybody's got to play each other.
So
I'm just trying to think how many strikeouts more that is per game.
Yeah.
So we're talking almost like 4, 4.5 extra strikeouts a game.
Sounds right.
Yeah. That's significant.
You combine that with the highest walk rate since the late 90s. All the home runs. Getting the 3 true outcomes at an alarming rate: home run, walk, strikeout. The outcomes where there is no ball truly in play. Alex Verdugo watches a breaking pitch catch the outside corner. Another way to put it is a third of the outcomes are non-action outcomes. 0-2.
The strikeout for me, though, is entertaining. And I don't say that just as a pitcher, but I think as far as what's going on in the game and what is important and what's a big out and how do you get the out, I think fans sit on the edge of their seat in those moments when our team needs a strikeout.
Verdugo rolls one to second. Marte will throw him out. Lightning quick third inning for Zach Godley. Dodgers 1, Diamondbacks nothing to the bottom of the third.
These Diamondbacks tomorrow afternoon at 12:30 for this week's MLB Facebook Watch Game. Follow MLB Live on Facebook to catch exclusive national game broadcasts all season long.
Bottom 3, Pedro Baez back out there. Couple of strikeouts to the 2 batters that he faced in relief of Ryu last inning. The pitcher Godley to lead the inning off. Diamondbacks winners of 5 of their last 6. 21-8, best record in the National League. That's a strike, 1-1. One of the Boston Red Sox a better record across baseball with their win this afternoon. They're a half game better. One and two. If the Diamondbacks win today, they would have accomplished something that's not been accomplished since 1907, and that is winning each of their first 10 series of the year. Second longest streak in baseball history to open the season. Here comes Baez with a 1-2.
This kind of outing for Pedro Baez, if he goes 2 or 3 innings, could really start to help him understand who he can be as a pitcher, with starting to throw his changeup more, maybe his slider more. Something that he came into spring training trying to accomplish, but it's hard when you're thrown into higher leverage situations.
He's got 3 strikeouts and 3 batters face. 1 out.
When all of a sudden you know you're going to be out there for an extended period of time and you need some different pitches to have different looks, getting an opportunity to throw those and feel what it's like to make adjustments with them, but not in such a high pressure situation, might be the kind of lessons that you can then take, and wisdom you can take into those high pressure situations, and believe in the changeup, believe in the slider.
Those 3 Ks all came against the bottom third of the order. Now to the top, and Peralta. In a way, isn't it a little bit like an outing where you find out kind of on short notice you're going to take the ball? Like, all right, what do I got to lose? Not much expected of me here. Isn't it kind of similar for him tonight?
Yeah, it simplifies things too. It's like, oh, I didn't have a ton of time to get everything ready, or hey, I come in and it's already an 0-2 count, nobody's on. And so, yeah, you feel like you have a little bit of breather compared to 2nd and 3rd, 7th inning tie game. I need a strikeout, or I need a pop-up.
I know you've mentioned you used to like those instances where you found out just before you were starting you didn't have enough time to psych yourself out, think about it too much.
My very first start in the big leagues was that way. Tommy Lasorda knew that I would be the nervous type that would overanalyze it, so he didn't tell me till I got to the ballpark that day.
Fly ball right center field. That is playable for Jock Peterson. And in the case of Pedro, where normally you're a struggling pitcher, the late innings are approaching, and what's probably going to be a tight game, and you're thinking about it. Okay, what part of the order am I going to face? How tight is it going to be? What's the situation going to be? Well, forget about it, Pedro. We need you now. You don't have time to think.
Yep, no time to have the anxiety build up or to process it. Just get out there and go play baseball. And it does simplify things.
Ahmed, who's been a Dodger killer, has homered against Baez twice. Most pitches, by the way, Baez has thrown in a game this year is 29. His 18th is a 1-0. Gently hit to 3rd. Max Muncy. 1-2-3 3rd inning for Baez on just 18 pitches. An inning and a 3rd, perfect for him.
nominate them for a chance to be named a Spectrum Sports Championship Drive Scholar Athlete and receive a $2,500 college scholarship. Go to SpectrumChamp.com for more information.
Here we are in the 4th inning. 3, 4, and 5 coming up for the Dodgers against Zach Godley. Joe Davis, Or Hershiser, and Alana Rizzo. Dodgers trying to get on track. Grandal takes a first pitch breaking ball for a strike. Walked his first time. It's the lone free pass issued by Godley. And now misses slowing inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. The patience in the at-bats were the key against Godley when they beat him at Dodger Stadium. Drew 6 walks over those 4 innings. Best approach they've had top to bottom all season when you ask the hitters and the coaches. Takes a borderline pitch here, and he's ahead 2-1.
All walks are not created equal. You'd think, okay, when you walk a lot, you're probably going to win. You're probably going to score more runs because you get these free passes. But how you get those walks, grinding out at bats, forcing pitchers to throw more pitches. It's one thing to get a walk against a guy who's wild. It's another thing against a guy that is pretty solid pitcher, but you're doing a great job fouling off pitches and making him throw more.
Full count.
Like an at bat like this.
Godley to Grandal with a 3-2 and a pop fly. Behind third, Marrero.
A little easier tonight to catch that one with the wind calm.
And no dust blowing in your eyes.
Right. I mean, that ball would have been an adventure the last 2 games.
Here's the man that drove in the lone run of the night, Cody Bellinger. Hitting above 330 against Arizona this year. And it might be easy to say, well, home cooking, right? He's a Phoenix guy. To sleep in his own bed. No, he doesn't like to go home. He stays at the team hotel. He'd prefer to be away from some of the distractions. Rolls this one off of the hands to Goldschmidt. He'll step on the bag for the second out.
Well, Cody will tell you get a little bit more rest when you don't have to visit every day with the family and everybody's great to see you, which is fantastic. You love it, but you know, when you're playing baseball and you're on the road, you are working, and rest and eating when you want and kind of being on your own schedule a lot more important to an everyday player. Starting pitcher would be a little different, Joe. You know, you got your game, and then maybe, you know, the next few days you just got to be rested enough to go in and get your workout done, and then you're just an observer most days.
Ball 1 on Matt Kemp.
Everyday players, boy, they have very strict regimens as far as their rest and their food and getting ready.
1-1. And Cody being 22, I guess he's maybe not at an age yet where it's that cool to be able to go home, right?
That's true.
Paints a fastball over the outside edge, 1-2.
If he ever gets married and has a couple kids, he'll be glad to make sure everybody's over at Grandma's house.
Yeah. Maybe just the kids. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Kemp. Dodgers had runners at the corners when Kemp came up in the first inning. He grounded into a double play, and that started a string of 10 in a row retired by Zach Godley, whose 2-2 is in the dirt. Kemp takes it for ball 3. Now Kemp has a home run against Godley before. Deep breath and a 3-2. A bullet to left for a base hit. First hit for the Dodgers since Bellinger's RBI single in the first keeps this inning alive.
He got a shot at this one because he didn't bite at the curveball in the dirt the pitch before. Godley gets backed into a count where Matt pretty much can get his fair share of fastballs if he doesn't want to walk them, and makes him pay.
It's Utley a 2-out chance. Chase had that 4-hit game to open the doubleheader Saturday in San Francisco. Now finds himself trying to end an 0 for 12. Behind 0-1. One and one.
Godley was dominant those first 2 starts of the year and has struggled since, and his pitch mix has changed a little bit. He's lost a little confidence and ability to throw that curveball for strikes, so the changeup percentage has gone up as he's tried to find other ways to finish hitters off.
Went to the curve there and hit foul 1 and 2. Kemp at first with 2 out. And Godley to Utley with a 1-2 pitch. Didn't miss by much. Ball 2.
Doesn't really back up on him, but he just kind of falls away towards first base and doesn't get the strike.
Now a 2-2. Back out there again. This one was away, and the count goes full, giving Kemp a head start from first. They have their fair share of outside corner calls going their way, I think.
Well, we got 2 games left, including this one, so yeah, they could even those up.
Right. There goes Kemp, a 3-2, poked foul.
Three-two count, runner going, and Chase Utley waiting to make sure it's a strike, and in doing that can attack a wide open left field line. Just watching that foul ball and seeing Arizona's defense, thinking I could score you a run.
Another 3-2 pitch. Utley takes strike 3. 2-out base hit from Kemp, but nothing else. To the bottom of the 4th, 1-0. Baseball brought to you by T-Mobile. If you're just joining us, this is why Hyun-Jin Ryu is out of the game. That left leg seemed to buckle. The right leg seemed to buckle as he let that pitch throw. And trying to stretch it out, came off. Pedro Baez replaced him.
Yeah, another significant blow if all of a sudden Ryu has something serious and has to go on the DL. Dodgers trying to find wins and find healthy bodies.
Ball one on Goldschmidt. Baez has retired all 4 that he's faced since coming on with, or all 5 that he's faced since coming on with 1 out in the second. That's 1-1 on Goldschmidt.
And building into this outing, Pedro Baez now acting and performing like a long man. This will be his most challenging inning. Goldschmidt and Pollock. Owings will give him a little bit of a break statistically.
One and 2.
Throw him a changeup.
Dug out, slash to left center. Verdugo makes the catch. And Goldschmidt the first out of the 4th.
Good piece of hitting, but also a very good pitch.
One away for Pollock. Singled his first time. That's the lone hit for the Diamondbacks tonight. Leave it to A.J. Pollock to come up with it. Leading the league in home runs, leading the league in slugging. Baez deals. It just misses ball 1.
Guy as hot as Pollock is right here. 1-0 game. I know it's still early, but you're going to make every pitch like the count is 0-1, 0-2. You're not just trying to get a ball over the plate to this guy.
Little nubber along first, but foul. 1-1.
2 good sliders to start him off. One that just missed, and that one was right there on the outside edge. Got him to cue it off the end of the bat.
Nice pitch. 1-2.
Changeup had outstanding bite. The one that he threw Goldie went down. It wasn't as drastic as that one. That had great finish.
And the slider, Pollock took it. The count evens up 2-2. Former first-round pick. 8 picks ahead of Mike Trout. 2009 draft out of Notre Dame, where he was an All-American. And more importantly for his draft status, he was the Cape Cod League MVP. Strokes one to left center field. That's going to split the gap. Up against the wall. Pollock with a 1-out double, and he has both Arizona hits tonight.
Couple of changeups, couple of sliders, and this is a fastball. Yasmani's glove down and away, but that ball leaks back over the middle of the plate. And Pollock is not missing anything center cut right now.
So the tying run in scoring position for Chris Owings. First pitch slider fouled off, strike one. That same year, 2009, Diamondbacks had another first-round pick, and with it, they took this guy out of high school in South Carolina. He's a top prospect in the system for a while. Caught up in 2013. First opening day roster in 2014, and he's overcome a bunch of injuries. Now in his 6th year in the majors. Baez brings him in 0-1. And the dirt stopped by Grandal, 1-1.
Almost looked like a cross up, and I hope in the midst of that Yasmani didn't get his thumb jammed. Chase Utley coming in going, I'm not sure that's what you really called. Yasmani trying to save a visit. Chase saying, let's all get on the same page.
And why not, right? We've not seen the Dodgers or any team really get close to using their 6 visits. There's been one time across baseball this year where a team has exhausted their 6. The Angels did it a week ago.
Everybody became very sensitive and really thinking about, do we want to go for it? No, we'll be judicious about it. And I've been so judicious that they're barely getting to 3.
Maybe too judicious, times where there should be visits and they're not.
The last couple games, I wouldn't be surprised that Chase has done a little of that research, or it's trickled down from the front office through the coaching staff, and Chase kind of taking it upon himself that I've got enough clout and enough sense about how to play the game that I can go when I need to.
The 1-1 pitch. Ground ball to third, takes a bad bounce on Muncy into short left field. They're at the corners with 1 out. Seen a couple bad bounces in this series.
That is nasty. And they water this infield. We're in the desert. It's drying out quick, and you can see even the light dirt and the dark dirt where the water has started to evaporate out, and so you'll get some different hops depending on if it hits a slightly softer place in the infield. New grass here in the stadium, and not really new dirt, but they've softened it a little bit with some healthier grass that they can actually cut a little shorter, but they can water it a little bit more, gets less sun. The surface is better, but it's hard to keep moisture and keep that infield soft here in the desert.
So first and third with 1 out and a 1-0 game in the 4th, and Ketel Marte was 0 for 1 today, hitting out of the 6th spot. Here comes Baez. Marte a switch hitter. He's much better from the other side.
But he's also much better when you don't get that first pitch strike on him. When you all of a sudden get in a jam, it's really important to try and get the count to break in your direction.
Here's the 1-0. Nice looking change, 1-1. And statistically, what you mentioned there, Oral, that's been the single biggest issue for the bullpen when you're really diving deep into the numbers the last couple weeks. First pitch strike percentage, it's way down. They were one of the best in baseball over the first couple weeks doing that out of the pen. One of the worst during this bad stretch. Two on 1.
Trying to save that run. 1 out. And the challenge is Marte is not a good double play candidate.
3 balls and a strike. Daniel Hudson. Pedro Baez within 2 pitches of his career high for an outing. This 3-1 is ball 4, and they're loaded up. Double, single walk. After Baez retired the first 6 that he faced.
Big moment in the game, even though it's the 4th inning. Big moment for the momentum for the bullpen. For the Diamondbacks to feel like they're still on a roll.
Devin Marrero is the first man that Baez faced. He inherited an 0-2 count and eventually struck him out back in the 2nd. Gets strike 1, attacking with a fastball at 96.
Just opens up so many possibilities when you get that strike 1. Now you've got every pitch in your arsenal you can go to. What feels good? What can I locate to the edge? What do I like that I can make look like a strike, end up a ball, get a weakly hit ball or a swing and miss, compared to 1-0? What can I get in there, and I hope we can get it by him? Or so much easier 0-1.
The next one fouled off, and how big would a strikeout be for Baez right here?
I just like the fact that he's in the jam. He's had a rough inning, the double, the single, the walk, and the first 2 pitches with bases loaded, he's attacking.
Having thrown more pitches than any other outing in his major league career. One-run game, 4th inning.
This is the 2nd time in a while that he's been out there and he's having trouble seeing the signs. Multiple signs being flashed because of the runner on 2nd.
Oh, 2. He struck him out. A fastball at 98. So 96 for strike 1, 97 for strike 2, and 98 to get the 2nd out of the 4th.
Right down the middle, but 98. And all 3 fastballs. The last one being the hardest, but probably the worst location, but still beat him to the spot.
They're going to stick with him for John Ryan Murphy. Trying to go 2 2/3 here and keep it 1-0 despite the bases loaded here in the 4th. Just misses away with a fastball. 1-0.
How would you like to be Yasmani Grandal back there, flashing fingers? Your pitcher says, I'm not sure I can see it. Throws it 98, and you just hope it's the pitch you called. That one right there, I almost thought he was getting crossed up on. The way he dropped his knee and caught it in a way he wasn't super sure.
Big stop by Grandal, but it's 2-0.
You just see the spray pattern. Once Pedro goes 1-0 compared to 0-1, it just seems like it takes his effort level up when he's in the 1-0 count. Like, I've got to do something extra special, and it just makes things worse compared to he can relax when he gets that first strike 0-1, and he can just attack and let his natural ability flow.
With the bases loaded and 2 out at 2-0. Strike 1. 5 more pitches than any other outing in his career.
2-0, I gotta throw a strike, and he did. But 2-1, don't feel like you have a lot of room. There's bases loaded. Still attack.
Here he comes. A pop-up on the right side of the infield. Cody Bellinger calling and catching, and Pedro Baez matches the longest outing of his career, going 2 2/3 and puts up all zeros. Dave Roberts with a sigh of relief and a smile as Baez throws up zeros out of the pen. By your Southern California Toyota dealers. Your summer starts here at your Toyota dealer. Get incredible deals on a stylish new Corolla.
Pedro Baez with some high fives. Mission accomplished, and the bullpen, their ego intact with some momentum. Dave Roberts and Rick Honeycutt with huge cheers as they encouraged him as he walked off the mound, hoping that they can get Pedro Baez on a roll, and hope the next component out of the bullpen can do the same job.
And hope another component of the team can get things going as well. This offense, just 1 run over the first 4 innings tonight on an RBI hit from Cody Bellinger in the first. Kike Hernandez to lead off the 5th inning. He takes strike 1. Now, Kike was down for the count this weekend in San Francisco with that stomach bug. He's still not quite 100%. Gosh, when you really think about it, beyond all the injuries the Dodgers have mounted, think back to spring training when the flu went around the clubhouse. There were like 30 guys out. And then the food poisoning in San Francisco. And then Kike's stomach bug. He's ahead 2-1. And our producer Mike Levy reminds us there was also the sewage pipe that broke before opening day. Uh, 2-1. And it's 3 balls and a strike. It's ball 4. Leadoff walk Hernandez.
Third baseman, Max.
Second one drawn tonight against Godley. And here's Max Muncy.
Max almost threaded the needle in left center in his last at bat. Hit it well. Kenta Maeda getting ready. Just in case they need a bunt or they need him to hit.
Strike 1. You lose your starting pitcher. 1 out in the second inning. You're probably going to have to get creative as the night goes on.
If Muncy reaches in its first and second, they might go for the sacrifice bunt, let Kenta do it. If not, Austin Barnes is in the on deck circle.
Muncy sure has shown a good feel for the strike zone in his first couple weeks as a Dodger, hasn't he?
He sure has. I mean, all the guys that have come up and had to fill in and then get consistent playing time have really had professional at bat after professional at bat. Think about Farmer making the roster out of spring training and what he looks like in the box and how he grinds it out. Muncy, since he's gotten an opportunity. Alex Verdugo, I think of right away as somebody who is very, very calm and calculated in his approach.
Muncy pulls one to right center field, a base hit. Hernandez hustling right off of the crack of the bat. He goes to third, and they have them cornered.
He drove the ball to the left center gap in his first at bat. Here on the Carl's cam, you get to see him pull one. About the same trajectory. This one hit a little harder and a little lower. So guaranteed to get a hit. And Kike, a nice job watching the angle off the bat. Seeing the height, knowing where the outfielders are, broke right away and continued on to third.
And instead of Barnes or Maeda, it's going to be Chris Taylor to pinch hit with runners at the corners and nobody out. Dodgers trying to add on to this 1-0 lead. Here's Mike Butcher, the pitching coach. And we talked about it off of the top wall. Bullpen, the obvious problem the last week or so. The other thing, though, has been the hitting with runners in scoring position. Last night, 0 for 7, and during the losing streak, below 200.
Yeah, the last 8 games or so, the bullpen has been absolutely terrible, and they've got a chance now to turn it around after Baez's outing. But yeah, hitters and runners in scoring position the last 4 games or so have been able to set the table, but they're just trying to finish off some of these rallies and either catch up to the Diamondbacks like they've had to in the first couple games, or stretch the lead here.
Godley against Taylor. Here comes. Swings wildly to first pitch curve. And it is not a fun team, as the Dodgers have seen to try and play from behind against.
Play from behind against these guys in the #1 bullpen in Major League Baseball.
Fouled off, and that got the hand of John Ryan Murphy. Diamondbacks this season, when leading after 6 innings, are 16-0.
Let's see, you got a shin guard down there to protect your knees, but you got a bare hand that's hanging there next to your glove. Oh, got him 3 times.
Taylor down quickly. 3 pitches. 1 out.
Murphy's got his hand down behind his leg now. Well located pitch, well located hand.
That ball did the same thing to his face that Ken Giles did to his own face last night. You see that?
Yeah.
Jeez. Astros reliever came off upset about an outing and punched himself in the face, like, hard.
Stupid but impressive.
Yeah. 1 out for Peterson. Takes ball 1. Stupid but impressive.
It was. Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't go down on concussion protocol after that. Did you see if he just kind of wobbled into the dugout after slugging yourself in the face?
I mean, it was a good He's a good slobber knocker. To himself. 2-0. And then still had enough about him to go in and just destroy a few objects in the dugout. His head snapped as if he was completely off guard that he punched himself.
Oh, really?
It's kind of the reaction that.
So he's a split personality guy. One personality hit the other personality.
Cole clocked him. 2-1. Second time hitting leadoff this season for Peterson, and an important spot finds him here in the 5th. Hernandez at third, Muncy at first. The 2-1, ball 3. Verdugo due next. Peterson very patient lately. Walk totals up, strikeouts way down. Still waiting for that power though. He'll take a walk here. Loaded up for Verdugo.
They've been grinding out some at bats, and when they've let it fly, they've hit the ball hard. Just trying to get some tallies. Same situation that Pedro Baez faced and boxed his way out of it. Godley trying to figure out a way to get out of this bases loaded jam.
And Alex, in front of a bunch of friends from down in Tucson, made the trip up tonight. Has Hernandez at third, Muncy at second, Peterson at first, and a 1-0 game in the 5th. Takes the first pitch barely outside. And without a flinch.
That's been the great thing about Alex Verdugo. We've seen him barely start the bat, but really exceptionally reading the pitch out of the pitcher's hand. It's either a full swing or a take. He is not in between.
Fouls this one off 1-1.
When he decides to launch, boy, he lets the bat go. It's not just some contact type of swing. Really shown a great eye and great discipline.
Looking for his first RBI of this season. Cowley's 1-1 in the dirt. Good stop by Murphy. Verdugo's ahead. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Good take, great balance, so calm.
Facial expression to match the body language.
He doesn't even use like a big cleansing breath or anything. This is his state of mind. He's locked in.
Waiting on a 2-1.
There's some growth right there. Went over at bat with him yesterday, and he talked about not at bats he was out of whack, but just certain pitches. He's like, I need to get a little better rhythm on that one pitch.
Verdugo grounds one to second. This will be a double play. 4-6-3. We're halfway home. The lead still 1-0.
On Wednesday, May 9th, when the Dodgers host these same Diamondbacks, be one of the first 40,000 fans in attendance at Dodger Stadium and take home a Justin Turner walk-off home run bobblehead presented by State Farm. Visit Dodgers.com/promotions.
Check him out. I did a little too hard there.
You like that pitcher that hit him in the face?
He was like whack.
Yeah.
But with his hand, with his own hand.
That's a very fine bobblehead, a great likeness, unbelievable detail. The flowing beard, the flowing locks, and a very happy face after that 3-run homer.
Doesn't quite have the same locks flowing anymore. Clean that up over the offseason. Daniel Hudson comes on for the Dodgers following Pedro Baez and delivers strike one to Zach Godley. Hudson trying to do what Baez did, and that is turn the page on what's been a rough run to put up zeros. Other than 2.
Daniel gotten off to a very rocky start here in a Dodger uniform. You see the 4 strikeouts, and you don't want to match that total with walks. And that can lead to a very high ERA, but looking to make some good pitches now. Preserve this lead and hand it over to the next warm body coming out of the bullpen.
Two and 2.
His pattern through these struggles in these early innings in a Dodger uniform have really been over there towards that left-handed batter's box. Most of his misses have been wide left.
Starts his night with a strikeout of Godley. Top of the order again. Here's David Peralta. And on a night where you go into it thinking, man, if there's ever a night where you need Hyun-Jin Ryu to go deep, maybe get you 7 innings, give the bullpen a night off. Only goes 1+. Bullpens have been a big part of the story for these two sides so far this season. You know, last year they were the 2 best bullpens in the National League. Totally different stories this year, though. Especially lately, the Dodger pen struggling. 11th overall in the National League this year. Well, the Diamondbacks have taken a step forward even from their really good 2016, 2017. They have by far the #1 bullpen in baseball.
They do with all kinds of arm angles, not a ton of velocity, one of the softer bullpens, but they've had some great accuracy and movement coming out of their pen. And Dodgers have much bigger arms. They just haven't been locating.
And it's easy to forget just because the last couple weeks have been so bad for the bullpen, but outside of Kenley Jansen, for the first couple weeks, the bullpen was pretty good and ranked favorably in the National League in a lot of different categories. Really through the San Diego series. Just inside, count evens. One nothing game, 5th inning. Hudson to his old teammate Peralta with a 2-2. Pop fly to right where Matt Kemp settles under it. 2 out.
One out recorded with a fastball for the strikeout. That one a slider, showing that he can command more than one pitch is the beginning of success. Seems like sometimes the bullpen was getting backed into counts where they pretty much could predict they had to throw a strike, and it had to be something firm.
2 up, 2 down for Hudson, and now the shortstop Nick Ahmed trying to extend a 6-game hitting streak. Pops this one up on the infield. It looks like Grandal's going to have room. 1, 2, 3, 5th for Daniel Hudson. On to the 6th in a 1-0 game.
Top tier play brought to you by Arco. After a double from Verdugo, a walk to Grandal, Cody Bellinger drives in the only run of the game. So the Dodgers are on top 1-0. Some outstanding work from Pedro Baez and the scoreless inning from Daniel Hudson.
Grandal, Bellinger, and Kemp against Zach Godley here in the 6th. He's thrown 90 pitches. Starts Grandal with a pitch up 1-0. Lands that one, 1-1.
Probably got a W in his last outing, but it was a rough outing. It was against Washington, in Washington, only 5 innings, 10 hits.
Yeah, season high.
4 earned runs.
Grandal pulls it sharply foul.
So you feel good that you added one in the W column, but he really knew he had to execute a lot better tonight to get better from those stats. And he's done a nice job. It hasn't been smooth, even though it's 1-0. The Dodgers have ground out a lot of at-bats, deep counts. They've done a nice job not chasing balls that are just off the edge and fouling off pitches like that to continue the at-bat.
Three Ks, 3 walks tonight. The 1 run on only 3 hits. Godley to Grandal with another 1-2. This is badly with this one. 2 balls, 2 strikes. For a guy who didn't pitch until he was a junior in high school. The 2-2. Grandal stays alive with a pitch by his knuckles. The drag it foul. The guy they call the bull. Like a bull in a china shop, the way goes about his business. Gets Grandal with a breaking pitch, his 4th K. Let's go down to Alana.
Guys, Hyunjin Ryu left the game in the 2nd inning with a left groin strain. Left groin strain for Ryu.
And that is impossible to pitch with. If you strain anything where you can't spread your legs and get down the hill and stay stable to protect your upper body and get that power. And the moment he went to stretch it, he felt like it was going to pull, so he was done.
Ball 1 on Bellinger. Rotation really has been the one consistently solid phase of the team. They're currently dealing with Rich Hill on the disabled list. He's set to come off on Sunday. And we'll see, but a potential trip there for Ryu now. Bellinger hits it hard past a diving Goldschmidt. 2nd hit of the night for Cody.
He's starting to hit a lot of barrels. The home run last night, the base hit earlier tonight, and then this one right here is like a one-hopper through. The harder you hit it, the more holes you create.
Next pitch would be the 100th, and it'll come to Matt Kemp with a man at 1st and 1 out. Kemp had a single his last time up after bouncing into a double play in the 1st. Grounds 1 to 3rd here. It is the 3rd double play of the night in 6 innings turned by Godley. To the bottom of the 6th, 1-0. By Carls Jr. Back here in Phoenix on a Cody Bellinger RBI hit in the 1st inning. The Dodgers with a 1-0 lead. To the bottom of the 6th we go. Joe Davis, Or Hershiser, Alana Rizzo. And a big challenge here for Daniel Hudson, who worked a 1-2-3 5th inning. Now ready to face the heart of the order in the 6th.
You lose your starter early, it gets a lot harder to play matchup for Dave Roberts. You just have to try and get to the 7th before you might start thinking about that.
Paul Goldschmidt takes a strike at the bottom of the zone.
You match up in the 6th, and all of a sudden you're going through your bullpen pretty quickly, and if this game turns into extra innings, you're down to fumes.
Here comes Hudson with a 1-1. Backed up. 2-1.
It looked like it almost could have been a strike.
I thought it was.
Almost like a left-handed breaking ball the way it backed up. Just off the edge.
So he's behind Goldschmidt. On a 2-1. Goldschmidt takes it for ball 3.
This is what you said about Goldie, that he might not be at his standards. He might be striking out more than he wants, but he's done a good job getting on base.
That's meant more opportunities for Pollock behind him, who is top 3 in the league in runs batted in. Coming inside with a 3-1, missed over the plate, but it was 94 and got by him. 3-2.
It's got to give you some confidence. 3-1 count. One of the best hitters in the big leagues. Still get it by him.
Paul Goldschmidt leading off the 6th and striking out. Back-to-back fastballs from Hudson. 1 away.
Goldschmidt's approach on this pitch right here looks like he's kind of in between and processing it too much. It wasn't a reaction to the baseball, more of a thoughtful swing that was a little bit slow.
Man, you've touched on it, but he's been one of the best fastball hitters in baseball the last couple of years. But it was back-to-back mid-90s heaters, inducing back-to-back swings and misses, and getting A.J. Pollock to the plate with the bases empty and 1 out. Diamondbacks 3 hits tonight. Pollock has 2 of them. Here he takes strike 1.
Hitters will tell you when they're going bad, the ball looks really small. But when they're going good, it looks slow and large. And they just feel like they can hit anything.
Offered on a slider, strike 2.
Good sign for this at bat for the Dodgers. Start getting a hot hitter in between and check swinging.
Pollock 6 for 10 in this series with 4 home runs. Hudson ahead of him 0-2. Here he comes. He struck him out looking with a slider. He K's Goldschmidt, he K's Pollock, and 2 away in the 6th.
I think this ball ends up right there. Wow. Perfect to slightly off the edge, but what a great pitch. From that camera angle, it definitely looked like a strike.
Pollock saying, if I don't swing at it right now, it ain't a strike with how hot I am.
You don't have my eyes.
Yeah. With 2 out, it's Owens. And he pumps a fastball over the inside corner. Strike 1. This looks like a different guy.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is the best outing I've seen Daniel Hudson have in a Dodger uniform, and that's not hard to say because he has really struggled. But he's not only being successful here, but he's hitting some spots.
0-2.
Since watching Goldschmidt swing and miss at his fastball when he had to throw it in there to most of the plate, he's had some confidence, and his accuracy has really gotten fine.
Struck out Goldschmidt, struck out Pollock. He throws a slider down the way to Owens. 1-2. Trying to go right through the heart of this Diamondbacks lineup. It's been so hot.
Go back out there with a slider, but I think Yasmani's going to go fastball in, maybe slightly up. Shook to the slider.
For 1-2. Softly hit to third on an in-between bounce. Muncy, wide throw, but Bellinger into the base path to catch it. 6 up, 6 down for Daniel Hudson, with strikeouts to Goldschmidt and Pollock sprinkled in. Through with 6. The trip to Monterrey, Mexico, coming up this weekend. 1957, the first team from outside the U.S. to win the Little League World Series came from Monterrey. They called them the Little Giants. And guess what they did to start their victory tour back home? They went from Williamsport, Pennsylvania to Brooklyn, New York to watch a Brooklyn Dodgers game at Ebbets Field. Many of them had actually grown up Dodger fans. Roy Campanella, before he made it to the majors, played 2 seasons in the Mexican League in Monterrey. So many of these kids' parents had become big Campanella fans, followed his path, became Dodger fans as a result. So a lot of those kids grew up listening to Vin Scully, a 20-something Vin Scully at the start of his career. Austin Barnes against Jorge De La Rosa in a 1-0 game in the 7th. Takes strike 1.
There is no one in that Diamondback bullpen that hasn't gotten off to a hot start. And De La Rosa is not by himself. But right here, Austin Barnes leads it off with a HBP.
Shortstop.
You got to get hit. It's not a bad place to get it.
So leadoff man on for Hernandez against a pitcher who hails from Mexico, and De La Rosa. Guadalajara. 37 years of age now. In his 15th season in the majors, from the Brewers to the Royals to the Rockies, and now his 2nd year here in Phoenix. Looking forward to that Mexico trip this weekend. So many Dodger fans down there. It'll be the 3rd regular season series played in Monterrey. First one, though, since the 1990s. High strike on Hernandez. Both times prior involved the Padres as well. They, of course, trying to take advantage of their proximity to Mexico. They played the Mets there opening day in 1996. And then in 99 played the Rockies. a pop-up. He goes through the roof for a moment. It's so high and comes tumbling back down to Marrero. You know, Monterey doesn't seem like the most logical choice for a place to host the games, but it actually is the largest stadium for baseball in Mexico. About 27,000. Home of a Mexican League team there. It's right up against a soccer stadium and apparently adjacent to a bull ring as well. I don't know if we'll have any time, but
that would be cool.
It would. Max Muncy turns on this ball, hits a high liner to right, but it's caught by Alipin Owings for out number 2. Kyle Farmer getting an opportunity to hit here.
Number 17, Kyle Farmer.
Those numbers contributing to the Dodgers' numbers as a whole, pinch hitting, some of the best in baseball. We have the heavy pull shift on Farmer. The data's accumulated. Making his first opening day roster. More substantial scouting report on him now. First pitch breaking ball is high.
De La Rosa almost made Farmer his second victim with a hit by pitch. Farmer had to scoot out of the way of this one. He's seeking his left thigh.
Two balls and a strike. On a 2-1, Farmer hits a ground ball to Marrero at third. And that's that in the 7th. We scratch in a tight one. The bullpen carrying the load tonight. 1-0 to the bottom of the 7th.
Monday, May 13th, when the Dodgers close out the series with the Reds, the first 40,000 fans in attendance will receive a Mother's Day cosmetic bag, compliments of Cedars-Sinai. Visit Dodgers.com/promotions. I didn't say cyanide. I didn't say cyanide.
Totally different things. Bullpen's been good tonight. All 4+ innings, putting up zeros, and they had to be good with Hyun-Jin Ryu not making it through the second. First it was Baez, then it was Hudson.
The strikeout has been outstanding. Pedro Baez had location. Hudson had good location. Now it's Cingrani's turn.
Ketel Marte leading it off, and on the first pitch he hits a slow tapper to second. Barnes throws him out. 1 pitch, 1 out for Tony Cingrani. Well, the last 8 games for the Dodgers, bullpen has been the worst in baseball, making tonight that much more impressive, and been a relief so far to see them do what they've done. Still no margin for error. A 1-0 game in the 7th. Here's Marrero taking a ball.
When the pen struggles as a group, it's a lot different than when it's just one individual here and there, because they are a fraternity down there that they pick each other up. But when one after the other struggles, it's not a trickle-down effect. It's exponential of having to pick up your buddy, and then you don't do the job, and then the next guy has to get up where it might have been a night off for him. So you're not only having trouble pitching well, but you're having trouble at times getting rest to then recover and pitch well.
Little jam shot down the line, foul, 2-1. Especially alarming and painful beginning here. The 7th inning. The 7th and the 8th inning have been the really tough ones for the bullpen. Kenley Jansen aside, in 4 of the last 9 games, the bullpen has given up a lead from the 7th inning on. Trying to change that tune tonight. 2-2 on Marrero. Taken in the dirt in a full count. And a guy that's, for many, going to be remembered, at least Dodger fans, going to be remembered as the guy who lost a home run when he passed Alex Avila on the base paths. Instead of a 3-run home run, 2-run single. Cingrani strikes him out, and the bat goes flying back to the backstop. 2 up and 2 down in the 7th.
Seeing some well-located fastballs out of the bullpen. They don't even need to move the glove right there. Perfect.
It's 10 straight retired for the final 2 Baez faced to get out of that bases loaded jam in the 4th. To the 6 up, 6 down for Daniel Hudson, to the first 2 outs here in the 7th. And now John Ryan Murphy, who does have some pop, takes strike 1 on a fastball that challenged him. Cingrani downhill. Ball 1. The series wraps up tomorrow on Facebook. You guys know how to post videos to Facebook? Remember that commercial? Two and one on Murphy. Alex Wood for the Dodgers. Patrick Corbin, who's 4-0 with a .225 for Arizona. Early Cy Young case for him. Driven the other way. Long way to go for Kemp. Towards the corner and over his head and over the wall for a ground rule double. First base runner for Arizona since the fourth. And the tying run in scoring position with 2 out.
This hit makes it go from an easy breezy inning where the bullpen is doing real well to pretty much a high leverage situation in a 1-0 game.
And the man they send up there is Christian Walker, who has 2 hits this year. One of them to break up a perfect game in the 8th inning against Tyson Ross, and one of them the longest home run that Clayton Kershaw has allowed in at least 4 years. Way high, ball 1. One ball, 1 strike. Murphy off of second with 2 out. Here comes Cingrani with a 1-1. Walker tries to lay off. Can't. Strike 2.
Got him to bite. Tony's very comfortable in pitching up in the strike zone. See if he returns there.
He did. Walker took it. 2 balls, 2 strikes with David Peralta due next. In the dirt, full count.
Go whichever way you want. 3-2 count here. You can go back to the high cheese and try and drop a 3-2 breaking ball on the outside part of the plate. I don't worry about the walk. I just worry about getting him out. He's standing over there at first base, but I tried to execute the pitch that was going to get him out, and I miss. It's all right. Go after Peralta.
A left-handed hitter.
And everything the Dodgers have been going through as far as trying to find a win here from the 7th inning on. Take a little risk if you have to.
Here comes a payoff. Challenged him with a fastball. He stayed alive. We'll do it again.
You might tell yourself it's just another game. But you're looking for a mindset right here that you can be at your best. The team needs this one badly.
Another 3-2 from Cingrani. He strikes him out looking. 5 2/3 shutout innings from the bullpen tonight.
He doesn't go.
California Ford dealers.
All right, thanks, Joe. What a night for the Dodgers bullpen so far after struggling so badly the last 8 or 9 games. 5 2/3 scoreless so far. Stay with us after the game. Jerry Nomar will break it down, and Alana Rizzo will have all your interviews from the Dodgers clubhouse.
Trying to add on here after Cingrani follows Hudson, who followed Baez. Top of the order coming up. TJ McFarland to Jock Peterson with a strike.
McFarland going to come at you with the fastball, the changeup, and the slider. You're going to get a lot more sliders as a left-handed hitter like Jock Peterson. Not overpowering, but he's deceptive. Fastball just hovers around 90, 91. You see Cingrani talking about his arm angle as he comes through, how close he wants it to his head. Maybe the little fix they found, he and Rick. They're kind of mimicking falling off to the third base side and kind of pulling that way compared to staying square and going right through the catcher.
Here comes a 1-2. Peterson stays alive. Was inside. He's able to lay off 2-2. Even he knows that was close to going around. Out of mere self-defense. Here comes a 2-2. Big bouncer back to McFarland. Peterson the first out of the 8th.
Be at Dodger Stadium on Saturday, May 12th for the alumni game that starts at 4, and see the 1988 World Series team before the Dodgers host the Reds at 6:10. If you're one of the first 40,000 fans in attendance, you'll receive a 60th anniversary cap. It's all part of the alumni weekend presented by Security Benefit. Visit Dodgers.com/alumni game.
One out for Verdugo. How's your arm build-up going?
I really haven't started my program yet.
Gotta get on that. 1 ball, no strikes.
My son Jordan was in Las Vegas for his bachelor party where we live, and the guys used the house instead of the hotel to stay for the weekend, and I had him pack up the sweater and bring it to California.
The Coogee.
The Coogee is in Cali.
Verdugo shoots one down the line, base hit towards the corner. He's got his second double of the night. The Dodgers have an opportunity here to add on to this 1-0 lead.
A major leaguer is a minor leaguer with an opportunity to play in the bigs, and this young man is taking advantage of his opportunity. He doesn't look like he's leaving the lineup for a while right now. He has not cooled off since he's been here.
So Grandal's going to have a chance here to double the lead.
Jerry Lane's out there talking to Alex Verdugo at second base, explaining about the wide strike zone to left-handed hitters when he's behind the plate.
Yeah.
So just so you can be ready for it.
Yeah, is that what that is?
Yeah, I think they're going over that.
Alex says it's okay. I can't argue. I've only been here for like a week.
Yep, call it where you want.
Here's McFarland to Grandal. Swings wildly at the first one, strike one. Dodgers only 1 run tonight despite 6 hits, 3 walks, and a hit batsman. Grounded into 3 double plays. That's been the biggest issue. Strike 2.
Both teams with a hit with a runner in scoring position, but Arizona's was a bad hop ground ball off of Muncie's shoulder, so it didn't get far enough into the outfield to score Pollock.
Verdugo heading for third. Murphy's throw is not in time. A calculated gamble with 1 out. He's in there safely.
Secondary lead is good. Weight shift is good. Reading the pitch, getting away in the dirt, and didn't really care about how far it got away. Didn't want to read that. Just got a good jump, and with his speed, made it. Winning baseball right there.
Forces the infield to come in. Gives Grandal multiple options to get the run home. The 1-2. Taken in the dirt, 2-2.
Verdugo right there reminded me of Chris Taylor when all of a sudden he got an opportunity to play last year. The way he read balls in the dirt and moved up. It seemed like he and Bellinger were one of the best Dodgers at doing that.
Josh Fields, it appears, will handle the 8th. 2-2 on Grandal. Here comes McFarland. Inside, ball 3.
Yasmani lost his balance, or he thought he was out.
We'll go with the balance one. Now the payoff. And Grandal flips it foul. I think about all the additional ways it puts on the list of how you can score when Verdugo hustles into third there.
I think there's 9 of them. Don't hold me to it.
But yeah, somewhere in that neighborhood versus 1 a hit the other way. Grandal lifts it to right field. It's caught by Owings. Here comes Verdugo. Owings' throw to the plate is up the line, and Verdugo's hustled a few minutes ago leads to the insurance on a sacrifice fly from Grandal.
That's one of them. Sacrifice. Wild pitch, pass ball, bunt hit, infield single. Walk if there's bases loaded. Getting to third was key for Verdugo, and an outstanding read on the ball in the dirt that helped produce that run.
So 2-0 now, and here's Bellinger. First run for the Dodgers since Bellinger drove one in way back in the first. That one's up and in, ball 1. Put them all in bubble wrap at this point. Two and 0. Two and 1.
Bonnie doing a nice job driving in that run, guiding the Dodgers. A whole bunch of zeros. One of the real consistent parts of the team so far this year.
Which has been something Yasmani has had a hard time finding throughout his career, that consistency. Nobody gets hotter, but nobody gets into longer slumps than Yasmani. So far, very consistent. That's low and away, and the count goes full.
And the production from the right side of the plate, something he has struggled with through the years. He's gotten consistent from that side. Just doing the very basic thing of putting the ball in play deep enough to get that sac fly. Keep the momentum.
Bellinger stays alive. Two of the 6 hits tonight. A couple of singles for him. Hitting above 340 against the D-backs this year. On another 3-2 pitch from McFarland. He swings away and pops it up. The shift was on, so a mile to go for Ahmed. That's the inning. The Dodgers get one. A double from Verdugo. Takes third and a ball in the dirt. Scores on a sacrifice fly from Grandal. Dodger, then Cingrani with a scoreless 7th. It'll be up to Josh Fields to keep that going in a 2-0 game here in the 8th.
Josh Fields looking to continue the success that's come out of the bullpen gate here tonight for the Dodgers.
Top of the order, Peralta hits one down the line in the first pitch that he sees. Peralta with a head of steam around second, hangs on there with a leadoff double.
Well, the bullpen has pitched around traffic. Pedro Baez had bases loaded, 1 out. Cingrani had a man on second and 2 out. Now Josh Fields having to pitch with no out and a man on second. But boy, does that sac fly and double by Verdugo moving up to third last inning and getting that second run looks big now.
I was just going to say it didn't take long for that to feel important. Now Fields gave up just 1 run over his first 12 outings. He's allowed a run in back-to-back games on solo home runs. Here it's a double from Peralta. And as a man at second for Nick Ahmed, who fouls off the first pitch fastball.
This is the gauntlet of the Arizona lineup. We're going through 2 Dodger killers and one of the hottest hitters in the big leagues in Pollock. It's a little more comforting to have a 2-run lead. These are going to be some challenging outs.
Fields with an 0-1. Snaps off a breaking pitch for strike 2.
A curveball that the new dad will be teaching Harrison someday.
Stopped by Grandal somehow.
As Monty has had his fingerprints all over this game. Calling the pitches, guiding the shutout so far, blocking balls behind the plate, hitting the sac fly. Have a game, big guy.
Have a season so far.
Exactly. Punctuation mark right here.
Fields to Ahmed with a 1-2.
Ahmed chases those high pitches. You've pointed that out the last few games. He is not one to offer at the low stuff.
Again.
Breaking ball that looks like it's a belt-high fastball but ends up in the dirt somewhere on a portion of the plate.
Stuck with a fastball, smacked to right. Matt Kemp has it for the first out. Peralta heads for third. Hernandez cuts it off. Runner at third, one away.
It was a good pitch. He's been trying to get the fastball in on him throughout the at-bat and finally got one on the inner half instead of away where he'd get the barrel on it. Jammed him enough to hit the weak fly ball to right. Didn't get it in very far. It was more like middling up. But it did the job, got the out.
Boy, oh boy, you fasten your seatbelts here. Paul Goldschmidt representing the tying run against a guy who has struggled keeping it in the yard at times. Upstairs, ball one.
You want to go after him right here. You can't continue to build the inning with Pollock on deck. Even though he's the tying run, that guy's the go-ahead run. You've got to attack Goldschmidt.
He does for strike one.
Outstanding. Just low enough to make him offer, just high enough to make him miss.
Something Josh Fields has done as well as anybody since coming over to the Dodgers. Live with that high fastball when he's right. Here's his 1-1. That's way up there for ball two.
No matter what your record is, this is why you love baseball. These kind of confrontations in a tight game.
The five-time All-Star at the plate. Peralta at third and one out. 2-1. Buzzed him. 3 balls and a strike. Dave Roberts hoping there's enough in the tank for the bullpen tonight to get to the finish line. Pressed into duty with 1 out in the second inning. And a 3-1. It's ball 4. Tying run is on base, and the National League Player of the Month is coming to the plate. Rick Honeycutt makes a call. A couple of guys down there, Liberatore and Chagua, probably not available tonight. Ross Stripling started on Monday night. So you've got Edward Paredes and you've got Kenley Jansen. And it's Jansen making his way to the mound to get ready.
Infield in. They are gathered to get it right and also give the bullpen some time.
Hudson got him looking with his slider his last time up after he had singled and doubled his first 2 at-bats. And a 2-0 game in the 8th. Fields to Pollock with a breaking ball that's pulled to short. They go to second one and turn a double play. A beauty started by Hernandez.
Ridiculous pick at short on a one-hopper. The hottest hitter in the big leagues hits a bullet. It hops once. Kike gets it. Flu or no flu. Austin Barnes, the third or second catcher, turns it.
Dodgers baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by your SoCal Land Rover retailers. Boy, what a play. What a double play started by Kike Hernandez to get the Dodgers and Josh Fields out of that eighth.
Corey Seager went down. Of course, Kike Hernandez was a candidate to be the everyday shortstop, but his value is all over the field. So Dave Roberts in the front office went with Chris Taylor at short, but Kike, whether he's there full-time or part-time, can still flash the leather.
So to the ninth we go. And Matt Kemp to lead this inning off against Silvino Bracho. All 3 games he'll now have pitched in the majors this year have been against the Dodgers, which is a product of the schedule that'll see the teams play 12 times by the middle of next week. Strike 1 on Kemp. It's a bit of an odd homestand coming up next time around, huh? 2 with the Diamondbacks and then 4 with the Reds. Ball on a strike on Kemp.
With the record under 500, you're always looking at the schedule of kind of strings of games that you could really get on a roll. One's in Mexico with the Padres. You feel like you should win that series. The Reds, and then you can all of a sudden change the momentum against these Diamondbacks.
And after the Red series, it's down to Miami. And I know the Marlins took 2 of 3 from the Dodgers, but that didn't change that they're one of the worst teams in the league. So pretty easy stretch, all things considered, coming up here.
The last time we were looking forward at the Marlins, we were counting on those ones as part of the streak we thought could happen.
Kemp pulls a 1-hopper to a deeply playing Ahmed at short. They'll throw him out.
Friday on an all-new Backstage Dodgers, Cody Bellinger retraces his baseball roots at his family home here in Arizona. Plus, Bellinger is mic'd up in San Francisco 1 year after his Dodgers debut at AT&T Park. Don't miss Backstage Dodgers, presented by Cadillac, Friday after the postgame show on Sportsnet LA.
Barnes with 1 out. While things pretty light for the Dodgers comparatively over the next couple weeks, Diamondbacks are in a stretch where they go Dodgers, Astros, Dodgers, Nationals. So 3 straight series against last year's World Series teams. And while the Nationals are off to a tough start, it's still a really talented team.
Well, the 2 teams with the positive run differential but have under 500 records are the Dodgers and the Nationals. Maybe that gives us a clue how things are going to turn around for both of those teams.
Three 3-0 on Barnes. Now the Dodgers positive run differential but below 500 record. Couple things at work there. Number 1 is they've not been good in close games, and you typically expect to play around 500 baseball in close games.
Those are 1- and 2-run games.
And the other thing is they've tended to just explode here and there very inconsistently, like the 16-run game against San Francisco, game 1 on Saturday. So the way the runs have been distributed, even though they've scored more than they've allowed, the old thing saves some of them. That applies here. Strike 2 on Barnes. Jam shot, short center, and caught by Marte.
Shortstop, Kike Hernandez.
Play of the night defensively for Kike Hernandez. Play of the week, perhaps, if they're able to hold on to this one. And only his 4th start of the year at short. Took what looked like off of the bat was a base hit, RBI hit for Pollock, and turned it into a double play to finish that inning. Takes ball 1 from Bracho.
Strikeout of the night so far, Pedro Baez and Marrero with bases loaded, 1 out. Base runner of the night, Alex Verdugo, moving up to 3rd after his double to set up the sac fly, and Kike's glove putting a winning combination up on the scoreboard so far.
2-0.
Each guy who came out of the bullpen had a different kind of pressure, but carried it. There's no more pressure than the guy who's warming up in the Dodger bullpen to try and deliver the mail.
Three balls, no strikes. And Jansen will face Owens, Marte, and Marrero. Dyson, Mathis, Descalso, and Avila all available off of the bench still. Strike 1. Strike 2. Bracho's payoff. Hernandez swings and misses for strike 3. 1, 2, 3 to the Dodgers in the top of the 9th. Fasten those seatbelts. Kenley Jansen coming on in a 2-0 game. Protect it and trying to finish off what has been a huge performance from the bullpen tonight. First man that'll face will be Chris Owens, and you go back to the first road game of the season here on April 2nd. Owens hit a 3-run home run with the Diamondbacks down to their final out to send that game into extras, where they'd eventually win it in 15 innings by a score of 8-7. hoping that it's a different Kenley Jansen now than it was exactly 1 month ago.
Take that memory and turn it into fuel. At that time, we were worried about Kenley's velocity. Well, that's gone up a tick or two. Now the thing that really needs to become consistent is the movement, the late movement on the cutter.
Marte and Marrero due to follow Owens. So here we go with the bottom of the 9th inning, trying to end that 4-game losing streak, and opening with a strike. And Owens, who's 1 for 3 today. Ripped to short. Hernandez smothers it. Up with it. Across for the first out. That is back-to-back. Nice plays by Kike Hernandez at short. 1 gone in the 9th inning.
I'm not so sure he didn't catch this ball in the air. Greg Gibson, the third base umpire, raised his right arm. Kike couldn't see the sign in time, so finished it off with a throw.
So is that officially L6?
I think it was.
Okay. Either way, it's the first out. And here's Marte. Ball 1 high.
94 flashes over in the corner. That is comforting.
Bouncer to second. Austin Barnes, 95 that time. 2 up and 2 down.
Hello, Kenley. Welcome to 2018. That's awesome. Shattered his bat. Hit 95. Late movement. 2 quick outs.
Descalso has been red hot trying to keep things alive for Arizona. Jansen an out away from ending this losing streak. Strike 1. 95 again.
He's getting down the hill with some violence. He's not holding anything back, and he's got some serious momentum going to the plate.
One and one off speed. RBI hit from Cody Bellinger in the first inning. RBI sac fly from Yasmani Grandal in the 8th, set up by the good base running from Alex Verdugo. On a 1-1 pitch. Way high, ball 2. Wood against Corbin tomorrow. 12:40 first pitch on Facebook. Here comes Jansen's 2-1 pitch. Ball 3.
97.
Wow. He walked him, and the Diamondbacks will get the tying run up there. Still yet to find a 1-2-3 inning this year. John Ryan Murphy.
Love the velo. Now just want to harness it. Love the aggressiveness on the mound.
Jansen's first one to Murphy. A strike. Descalso takes second. 1-1. Two balls and a strike. Good take by Murphy.
Kenley's throwing this hard. The hitters are thinking, make it, get it down. You're probably not going to catch up to it up there. It's 93, 95, 97.
Tying run at the plate, 9th inning. Here's a 2-1 with a hesitation. A pop foul, 2-2.
Kenley understanding he's going to throw him his 4th cutter in a row. So instead of just throwing the same delivery, he gives him the hesitation to make it a slightly different pitch.
Descalso at second with 2 out in the 9th inning. Here comes a 2-2. Line drive to left field. Verdugo will have to play it on a bounce. Descalso in to score. It's 2-1 on a base hit from John Ryan Murphy.
Nobody said it was going to be easy. It's an up cutter. It cuts enough to get it off the end of the bat. But Murphy gets enough of it to get to outfield grass. Tying runs on first. Diamondbacks are still alive.
Pitching coach Rick Honeycutt coming out. Couple of substitutions here. Alex Avila has been announced as the pinch hitter, but maybe even more importantly, Gerard Dyson, one of the fastest players in baseball, has been put at first as a pinch runner.
Kenley's going to have to divide his attention a little bit. You've got to keep Dyson close. It's not going to be hard for Avila to wait for Dyson to get the second to have that opportunity, because he's one of the biggest takers in the big leagues. He will not swing until he really has to. I wouldn't be surprised if Kenley goes over to first 2 or 3 times here before he even delivers a pitch, knowing that Dyson's probably going to want to go early in the count.
4 steals in as many tries so far this year. #1 success rate in the majors the last 5 years. So Avila, the hitter, representing the winning run with Dyson at first and 2 out in the 9th. There he goes on the first pitch. It's a strike. The tying run is in scoring position.
He's probably going to go, and he's probably going to outrun it. So make sure you get ahead, and Kenley throws a good strike. Gets the count in his favor, but has Dyson in scoring position. With Dyson's speed, you got to play the outfield in a way that you can record an out, because he's going to go on the crack of the bat. I don't think you have a chance of throwing him out.
Ball 1.
Play the outfield depth so that you can catch the ball in the air where you think it might be hit. You don't have to pinch all the way in, because it would have to be a one-hop bullet to an outfielder for them to have a chance to throw Dyson out.
The 1-1 to Avila. There goes Dyson again on a ground ball foul, strike 2.
Diamondbacks love to steal third base. Kenley not worried about him being on third. He's worried about just getting the hitter.
Boy, and this is hands covering your eyes, peering through the cracks between your fingers material here. trying to end a 4-game losing streak. Tying run at second. Winning run at the plate. Jansen a strike away. Here he comes. We'll do it again. Jansen got the first 2 batters of the inning on 4 pitches. Marrero then walked and took second. RBI single for Murphy. Alex Grandal to come out. They still have 3 visits to use. That's the most visits used in a game this year by the Dodgers. Down to 2 left. Set for another 1-2. Driven the other way. Verdugo's back on it. He's got room, and that's it. It wasn't easy. But Jansen and the Dodgers hold on. 2-1 the final score as they get 7 2/3 out of the bullpen.
The hits were even. The score was not. It was a battle the whole way, and it was tight. And at the end, it was a nail-biter. But it's a W.
Snapping the 4-game skid, and the Dodgers will have a chance to salvage a series split tomorrow when Alex Wood faces Patrick Corbin. Our players of the game brought to you by Lexus. The bullpen, from Baez to Hudson to Cingrani. Josh Fields able to pitch around some trouble thanks to this defense in the 8th. They get 1 against Jansen, but that is all, and 2-1s are final.
Take a deep breath and get back at him tomorrow. Short sleep, early game.
For Hershiser, Alana Rizzo, and the rest of our crew, Joe Davis saying so long from Phoenix. A 2-1 win for the Dodgers. Remember, tomorrow exclusively on Facebook. We'll be back with you from Monterrey, Mexico, Friday night. For now, stay tuned for Access Sportsnet Dodgers.